Before we start today's episode, we wanted to say that our hearts go out to everyone being affected by the LA protest. We hope that everyone is staying safe during their protests, and we hope you guys keep fighting the good fight. Derek, did you have any words?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick word to everybody, not just being affected by the protests, but by the actual immigration policies and the ICE raids that are going on right now. You're not alone. I know it may feel like it is, but this does not stand for what the best of America is meant to be. We have unfortunately found ourselves in a situation where the worst of us are in charge and dehumanizing and treating things the way that they should not be treated. But you're not alone. You're not illegal, and we stand with you. Yep, no
Ooh,
one is
nice
illegal.
shirt. That wasn't even
Yeah,
planned.
yeah, no one is illegal on stolen land. But I'd take that a step further and just no one is illegal ever, regardless. Um, it's unfortunate that we're at where we're at, and in a lot of ways, I am grateful is not the right word here, but in a lot of ways, I'm grateful for what's happening in LA because it's bringing more visibility to the situation. LA has gotten the most media coverage, the most attention, but this stuff is happening nationwide. Down here in Miami, it is happening. New York, it's happening. Right, cities with immigrants, it's happening, and it's to the point down here where people are going to throw out their garbage put the garbage out on the curb, and a nice agent approaches them and takes them away. There are situations nationwide where they just show up at construction sites. They show up at the fast food locations, the workplaces where these immigrants are at. There are people being detained that had protected status. They showed up to routine immigration hearings at the immigration office. They're doing what they're supposed to. And again, they had asylum, they had parole, they had these protected statuses. Their lawyers are not being informed of any updates to policy and change, and they do not leave the courthouse. They do not leave that immigration hearing. They get sent to a detention center, essentially. What's happening isn't right, and something obviously needs to change. So, long story short here, it's not just LA, it's nationwide, and it's not okay.
Well said. And with that, let's keep scrolling. Good news, everyone. What a hard transition.
A little
Welcome to
bit.
Still Scrolling. I'm Justin.
And I'm Derek.
Wow, Derek forgot he was here for a
Sorry.
second.
Yeah. I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
Tired of the injustice that's happening.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a huge show for you guys today. We have so much to talk about. We have a whole heist planned after this episode, but Stefania got pulled into the multiverse. What recast maybe?
Recast is what we're doing lately.
Yeah, okay, recast.
Yeah.
Recast Stefania, and we had to get someone like huge, someone amazing. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the undefeated, the unbelievable, the amazing movie Mija, aka Emily. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And recasting is bold. Some people are too scared to do it. And I
Oh,
love
Did
that
it.
for you.
honestly, like I've been on the record saying that we should recast, more things. So, new Stefania, we're so glad that you're here. This is like an Aunt Viv situation, but in
Oh,
reverse.
Oh no.
Anyways,
don't wish that on her. Okay.
Emily, tell the people who haven't heard about you, about yourself, what you do, where you from.
My name's Emily, aka Movie Mija. I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. I'm there now. I've lived a lot of different other cities. I've lived on the East Coast for a while, but I'm back home. I like to tell people who follow me on YouTube that I'm a full-time movie lover and a part-time filmmaker. And that's
Ooh.
true. I do create content about movies and TV shows, and I just love like being able to share my excitement with people who want to listen, because my friends and family can only listen to so much. So, but in my professional life, I'm a freelance producer, so I work in film and media commercial spaces. I've had the privilege and honor of getting to work on set with some amazing actors and directors. And yeah, it doesn't happen often enough, in my opinion, because it's a very competitive field. But I really, really love the film industry. I'm kind of new to it, actually. I worked in nonprofits for about 10 years after college, and then I transitioned into the independent film space, and I've just loved it ever since. So it's the dream.
You're making movies. Nice, nice. I am so excited to talk about all
I
of our
wanna.
stories with you too. Oh, Derek, go ahead. Sorry.
I want to give a quick shout out to her ability to wear those glasses, because I call those the Ocean's 11 Reuben glasses.
Okay.
I just went to try some on yesterday, and I like them, right? But according to my Instagram poll about it, nobody else did. So shout out to
Really?
your ability to wear that. They look great.
Okay, Stefania,
you.
if you're
Thank you.
listening to this and you're editing this, you gotta put the image next to Derek in the screen so we can compare. Actually,
Yes.
do we all wear glasses? Is this the
Yeah.
first podcast where we're all wearing glasses? Wait,
Stefania
wears
has them.
glasses.
Yeah, but I don't think hers are prescription. She's my blue light.
light?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my, come
Oh
on,
no,
Steph.
these are necessary.
Yeah, I can't see
Like,
shit without these.
Game over without them.
Wow. So, fun fact about me, it's only one eye that's messed up for me. It's like literally my left eye is the only one like that needs
Really?
prescription. Yeah, it's
My
I could wear a
man.
monocle
Do
if I wanted
do they
to.
charge?
Yeah,
you for
I was
both
just gonna say
lenses?
that.
No. I mean, like the right eye is just like a tiny bit, but it's mainly just my left eye, which is so weird. Anyways, let's get back to the show.
Hold
Justin
on,
left
no,
eye.
no, hold on. We have to start a hashtag here.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Okay, here we go.
Get-
Here we go.
Justin monocle. No, that's not a good hashtag.
Get
Wear a
monocled.
monocle, Justin. Hashtag wear a monocle, Justin. Let's get that
if we
going.
do a Halloween episode, I'll find someone with a monocle. Maybe I'll be like Colonel Mustard or somebody with.
Sick.
Hell yeah, and get a
monocle.
prescription made.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? But
Yes.
speaking of not seeing the vision, did you guys see the breakup of the century last week?
Maybe. Who are you referring
Maybe.
to?
I'm referring to Donald Trump and Elon Musk having
Oh.
the messiest breakup online. Like literally, I didn't think it was possible that it could be that messy. So, were you guys following it at the very least?
Yes, it was giving me life. It was fueling my desire to remain on this mortal plane for just a bit longer,
This
seeing it happen.
Love that.
Only this.
Listen,
I'm a
it gets
little
dire
concerned.
sometimes. It's like movie release dates that just keep me holding on. I'm like, you know what? I'll
Yeah.
stick around. Summer
Yeah.
2026. I need to be
Yep.
here for that.
Yep.
On the
July
dark
6th.
Oh gosh, this got so depressing so
but-
quickly.
I did not see things as they were happening. I had a lot of friends texting me about it, and the way they were texting me about it, I mean, AOC said it best herself. The girls are fighting. It was hilarious. I was on set just trying to do production stuff, get things going, being a contributing member of society while the girls indeed online were fighting. It was I was surprised, but also not.
Right.
I guess I'm just surprised that it's happening all over the internet. Like this couldn't have been an email. This couldn't have been a secret meeting, where you had the real meeting and then you do the real meeting, But one of the many tweets that that we saw, Elon Musk accused Donald Trump of being on the Epstein files.
Oh.
Yeah, that one was wild.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Also, some of the tweets, Elon himself saying, without me, Trump would have lost the elections. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Like, literally just admitting to buying the election? Ref, do
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That was my reaction to
There's
this
nothing
whole
in the
thing.
rules that says a dog can't play basketball. You know,
What?
gonna
I'm
need to
sorry,
explain
Derek.
that real
Wait,
quick.
what happened?
it's a reference to your ref do something in Airbud.
Oh,
They're like, they go to the ref
Airbud.
and they're like, you gotta do something. And it's like, there's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play basketball. And then they just kind of chop it up to that. And I think that's very, it works very well for a movie like Airbud, but real life U.S. politics, not so much. But that's what happened, essentially.
But
And
yeah,
what's interesting too is like there is the, I guess, ambiguity enough around Elon's tweets with a lot of that, where it's like he's not saying he bought it, he's not saying he hacked it, he's not saying anything specifically as to why they wouldn't win. So, their cult members over there can just be like, no, he's referring to the donations, he's referring to his efforts and his endorsement and yada yada yada. But
I'm calling
we know
bull.
how these people operate. Yeah. But what do you think, Emily? Did you obviously, right? The girls were indeed fighting.
Yeah.
But do you think it's real? Do you think it's staged?
I mean, to what would they stand to gain for it being fake? Is like what I mean. The only thing that I'm always suspicious of when things like this happen is, are they trying to distract us from something else?
Right.
That's the only other place my mind goes. Like they must be trying
Yeah.
to distract us from something else going on.
Yeah. And there's just the thing too is the way that this administration operated before and this time around too is there's always something happening. There's always some sort of crazy, unprecedented, weird, insane thing happening. So it's like, what are they distracting from all the other weird, insane stuff that's happening? So I'm kind of with you there, right? Because sometimes I do think that does happen, but I think they both have too big of egos to just be like, yeah, go ahead and tell the American public I was on the Epstein list and that I only won because of you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it
Yeah.
would work that way. I don't think
Oh
they'd
my
agree to
God.
it.
Oh, speaking of big egos, Derek, did you see that the rumor that's going on in the White House that Elon is sleeping with someone's wife?
Oh, Stephen Miller. Yeah.
Yes.
And he tweeted about it and deleted it too.
What did he say? I missed that. What?
So back when Elon left the Department of Government Efficiency, fucking losers. When he left that Doge, the rumor was he's leaving because things are that he's butting heads. He's not whatever. But who else is leaving is Stephen Miller, Trump's chief of staff's wife. She was part of Doge, and they both left at the same time, basically. So that kind of became the rumor, like, oh, and then a few days later, Elon shows up next to President Trump with a black eye. So people are like, yeah. And then yesterday or the day before, Stephen Miller like kind of subtweeted or just straight up tweeted about Elon. And then Elon reposted it with saying, that's why I took your wife. But then he deleted that. So it's like, it's again, how much of this is gossip? How much of this is just like Elon doesn't know how to make jokes because he's a weirdo? Like how much of this is a hoax? Like it's so hard to kind of judge the veracity of like all of this. But I believe it.
He can't be that good. He can't be
Bro.
that good.
I don't think
Look.
anybody who thinks like these men can be funny. Honestly, they don't have
no.
a sense of humor. There's
They
just
don't.
no way that they don't know how to be funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. But Justin, to your point, that's what I said about like his second baby mama. But this dude is like what?
Grimes?
Yes.
It
How are
can't
you,
be that
Grimes?
good. It can't be that big. It can't be that. No
Something
way.
is happening.
Zero
Something is
chance.
happening. I don't know if
Zero
it's
chance.
sorcery, some sort
It's
of
the
weird.
money. Hugh Hefner wasn't that good looking, and he had like 3 different wives every week. Like
Yep.
there's no
It was
way.
a lifestyle. It was a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
He's like what, 12 kids in, 14 kids in with how many
It
different women?
can't be that. You know what? I can't. I can't. Before
We're doing
Elon's gonna
we just
find this
we,
podcast.
we wouldn't understand. We just don't understand. We're not alphas. We're just betas.
Get out, Derek. You're giving them more
Which is
ammo.
scientifically proven to not be a thing.
Wait,
Yes.
what? Alpha
Yeah.
dogs and alpha wolves are
No,
not real.
no, it was research that it got misattributed to being an alpha male society, and they actually went back and like looked at the notes, looked at actual wolf packs, and they're like, oh, that's not actually a thing.
And even if it was real, it doesn't apply to like humans in 2025. Like we're fucking humans and we're sentient.
Sounds
Like it's not the same.
Derek, they're giving the beta answer.
I am.
You gotta
I am.
start acting like a Sigma. I don't know what
Yeah.
any of these means. Give
Listen,
me,
I'm
like-
a turbo. All right, I'm a turbo extreme.
Oh,
right.
okay.
I'm
Oh my
above all
God.
of them.
All right. Speaking of extremes, oh my God, I can't talk today. Speaking of turbo extremes, and breakups, did you guys hear about the Warner Brothers breakup? It's an all breakup, messy
Yeah.
pod because
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Discovery is going to split into 2 companies, and this is a big deal because we talk about movie stuff all the time and box office stuff, but this is a big deal to me because I'm annoyed. Because number one,
Yeah.
if you're gonna split it up, why'd you merge in the first place? Because if you don't know, all the Warner Brothers stuff, so like TV, movies, games, HBO will become its own separate company, and then Discovery, Discovery Plus, and all the other stuff are going to become its own separate company. So I ask, what was the point of Discovery buying Warner Brothers if it's just going to be split up in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, Emily.
You're asking the right questions.
Yes. Emily, as a person who is in the movie industry, I need your opinion on this. What is going on behind the scenes since you're an insider?
Right, an insider, yeah. I wish I could tell you what it meant, but I mean, we just had HBO Max get
Oh my
renamed
God.
back to HBO Max. Like, we have a lot of, okay, let me take a moment because I feel like there's a competitiveness in the idea. We're trying to get audience eyes on stuff, right? There's a big pressure on box office, attention spans, are something that's definitely been detrimental for the movie going societies. We could talk about movie etiquette at one point too, because I have some things to say about that. But
Oh, okay.
movies, they're just trying to get people in the theaters, and there's a lot of reasons, both sociology wise and like just culturally, why we're not going to movie theaters in the same way. So I feel like there's people at the heads of these companies who are just looking to find a way to crack that code to get people in theaters. And it's taking us on like a carousel of weird decisions that are taking us sometimes further away from the art of filmmaking, sometimes closer. With the onslaught and introduction of AI integration into the filmmaking business, it seems like there's just so many different things that are being, tested here and there to just try to get people into the movie theaters. So I think like the bottom line is, this is someone's bottom line, is what caused this breakup. Like, let's try it, and it didn't work out. So
Damn.
I feel like the disappointing part is like people's livelihoods are at risk when this happens. Like, this is impacting like actual people working on things, let alone like the TV shows and movies that we're rooting for. Like, so many things get lost in the shuffle too. So yeah, I can imagine that's why. I haven't read too much into it, so I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this too.
Derek, what do you think?
So it seems just weird, like or not weird, like semantics, right? So the split is going to be a streaming and studios company. So that'll be WB Television, WB Pictures, WB Games, DC Studios, HBO, HBO Max, and the respective like TV and film libraries that all of those entities have. AKA like there's still multiple companies, right? And then the other split, right? The other company is going to be global networks. CNN, TNT Sports, Discovery, Discovery Plus, and other TV networks. So like I don't, you know what I mean? Like what are we doing here? Like what is the point of this other than to be like, "Oh, well, we have financially reorganized and the stockholders and the dividends at all, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, we're laying off these people. We restructured this way and here's all this other bad news." And that's it. So it's like to your point, Emily, like this is like not a game, right? Like people are like these are livelihoods we're talking about and people that are in the industry and they're being affected by what? It reminds me a little bit, it's not a one for one example, but it reminds me a lot of like how Bob Iger will make a statement and it's kind of like, oh, he's appeasing conservatives with this, right? And then like a few months later, he'll make another statement and it's like, oh, look at our progressive king, Bob Iger. And it's kind of like he's not doing left or right or politics in general. He's just appeasing the shareholders.
Yeah.
So this feels very much kind of like that. Like they are out of ideas. They're just kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel for like what they can do to keep the share price up. And at the end of the day, like, guess what? They're still going to be answering to each other. They're all still answering to Zaslav, right? Like nothing's changing.
I have a different theory.
Uh-oh.
Thank you so much for asking, Derek.
You're welcome.
Okay. This is going to require some detective work. Remember, way back when David Zaslav first bought Warner Brothers, that he was always planning to sell that shit off. He was always planning to like sell it off, right? And remember, he started canceling things left and right. CW shows canceled, right? Batgirl canceled, right? All these Warner Brothers Acme stuff canceled, right? I think he was just slimming down the company to be its bare bones to get a better profit. This was always the plan. Mind you, I'm sure like a couple of Barbies and big tentpole things helped with the plan, or some failures didn't help with the plan, But I think he was always going to sell Warner Brothers off. He was going to cut it up, sell it off for parts. I'm surprised DC Studios isn't being sold to another company separately, to be honest with you. I'm surprised Harry Potter isn't just segmented off into its own little thing, to be honest with you. Because, like, those are the jewels. Those are the Infinity Stones in the Infinity Gauntlet. Just like, shoot those off and then get more bang for your buck, right? But here's the thing. Here's what I'm worried about, to be honest with you. I'm worried about my subscription. Because
that's fair.
Look, it's rational because
I
didn't care about all of these Discovery shows being on my prestige streaming app, But then I started watching the Poly Family because I love mess. And oh my gosh, it's the messiest show I've ever seen. This is not
like polyamory?
Yes, like the show is called Poly. Oh my gosh, I love that we diverted into this. The Poly Family is literally just these 4 people, 2 men and 2 women, who are in a quad relationship, right? And it's so weird because it's so obvious that they're into 2 men are into one of the women, and the other woman is just like left for scraps, right? And it's so weird because like they don't want to say it, but there's a whole thing where they have a kid and they don't want to know the parents, like the biological parents, who fathered who, right? Because one of the dads would get jealous. I know, right? Okay, I'm just gonna spoil the whole show at this point.
Yeah, tell me everything.
Because then the baby is born, right? And one of the dads texts the medical information to the group like, hey, he's this tall, he weighs this much, his blood type is this, that, da, 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 da.
Oof.
And then the other dad looks up him and his wife's blood type and comes to the conclusion that
It can't be his.
their two blood types can't produce that kid's blood type. And so he's like, how dare you share the medical information of the kid? He's like, what are you talking about? I feel like we should know the medical information of the kid. But now
Yeah.
they think they know who the father is, and it's a whole thing. And it's so weird and gross. And not gross. It's weird because one of the guys is so awful, like unbelievably like annoying. And like, you ever look yourself in your mirror and you're like, this man has two girlfriends, a wife and a girlfriend? Are you kidding me? This man,
Oh,
this
sorry.
man right here. It can't be that good. It can't be that good.
I mean, we just talked about Elon, so.
Oh
But
my
I'm
gosh.
like that paternity stuff, like getting caught up on that. That's some straight people thing. Like that is some like this whole thing. Like that child's less of my child because he doesn't have my DNA, even though we're raising that child. Like, what is
Yeah.
that?
It's
Where you're
weird.
just never gonna find out, or you're gonna like disown
Yeah.
him when you like go get some blood drawn when he's like 10. Be
Weird.
like,
Weird.
actually, I
Yeah.
care less about you now.
Yeah.
But that's the type of stuff
Gross.
Discovery makes, you know. But anyways.
Oh, okay, I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and somehow that's on HBO Max, the streaming service formerly known as Max, which is formerly known as HBO Max, which is formerly known as HBO No, aka HBO Go. But that's a whole nother podcast. Anyways, I think this was always the plan. It's just I'm devastated how messy it was to get here because a lot of people lost their jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof,
I think
rough.
a lot is riding on Superman.
Really? Okay.
I think
Derek,
that's the
I have a
next
question for
low-hanging
you.
fruit for Zaslav's ambitions. You know?
Really? Okay, Derek and Emily.
Yes.
You are now the CEO of Warner Brothers. How do you save the company? Go.
I sell Harry Potter. I sell it off.
Even with the theme park?
I'll figure out something licensing-wise for the theme park.
You
Yeah.
sell it off completely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Who would
it's
buy it?
somebody will buy Breitbart or Infowars, one of these like super conservative, and they'll be like, it's time to make Harry Potter great again, and they'll get rid of all the black people
That's
and all.
literally what they're already doing.
No, because WB likes to play both sides. They'll be like, we'll give you a black Snape, but also,
Oh God.
oh, look at Draco Malfoy coming back to Broadway or whatever. J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling is, she's okay, I guess. Just don't ask us about her.
Mm.
They like to toe that line. I would get rid of it completely, sell it, and use that money to actually like build something because they could sell it for a lot of money, right? So
could.
go use that. You guys are having money problems, right? Use that money to actually build original IP and actually just build something, right? Like give us good stories that are original. That's not just like another rehash of Harry Potter. That's not another live action remake of whatever else is going on. That is because aside from that, right, they've only really got DC Studios, and that's very much in the infancy stage.
Interesting.
They're gonna need money to fund that, right? So they've got basically their money on two horses right now, and one of them is Harry Potter pisses everybody off. Left, right, center. Everybody's mad at Harry Potter.
Okay.
Make the money while it's still available. Sell it. Do something with it.
All right, Emily.
That's a beautiful
You are
company.
now the CEO of Warner Brothers. What's your plan?
Wow. First of all, thank you for trusting me with this company. Second of all, okay, so my dream would be like, I don't think Hollywood would ever have the audacity to do this, but like, let's put out two versions of the same movie and see what performs better. Let's A/B test some movies, and I want to do that with old musicals, like old musical revivals. Let's go classic Hollywood because number one, I am tired of people who say they like movies but hate musicals.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Movies are rooted in musicals. They are just they're one and the same, right? And which reminds me, I have not stopped rewatching the Kiss of the Spider Woman preview with J-Lo in it. Have you seen that?
Is J-Lo trying to get an Oscar?
Well, I
Yeah.
think she will. I think she will for this. You got to watch the
I don't
trailer.
know if she. What was the last movie? The stripper movie.
I don't
What
know.
was
I
it?
tried no, it wasn't the stripper
Hustlers.
movie. Hustlers was
Hustlers.
okay.
If she
That
didn't
was
get
decent.
that was the time to give
No,
J-Lo an
no, no,
Oscar.
no. Her last movie was not the making of
It's
documentary,
the
the greatest
actual
love
one.
story never told. The music video movie she made. I'm a fan. Anyone who puts their own money up to make a production, one, I can't hate on you. Two, like her and Francis Ford Coppola, like-minded individuals, right? Putting their own, bankrolling their own art projects.
I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
feel like they got the same results.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's not
That's
good.
what Francis Ford Coppola is doing. That's what men
Oh,
in their
gosh.
70s, 80s should be doing with their money, not running the country. They should be making their wacky little art projects instead of,
Fair.
Fair. How many people go into politics because they were a failed artist? We should let men become country stars and movie makers instead of letting them run the country.
Damn, I think hold
Are we
on,
talking
is this
about a
Emily's
German
podcast
artist?
now? Does she own this podcast now legally? You cooked so hard with that because at first I was like, wait, what? Where is she going with this? But you're
Have you
absolutely
listened to
spot on.
Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett real closely lately? That song is sad. That man poured his heart into that song, and I'm like, men should be doing this.
More
Writing
Margaritavilles. Stop buying
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I will never watch Megalopolis, right?
Oh my gosh.
The Back to the
Terrible.
Club scene is enough for me to never watch that movie.
That movie got me canceled online because I said I hated it.
I will never finish watching that music video movie that J-Lo did because I did start it. But I was after like maybe I think 30, 40 minutes, I was like, no thanks. I tried, but no. But you're not wrong in saying like, you know what, it is their money. Like they did put their money where their mouth is. They just couldn't deliver for me specifically and a lot of other people. But good for them for actually doing that and not like slowly destroying the world via authoritarianism. Like good for them. They made they made one right choice in that process at least, you know?
Dang.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
then.
true. But yeah, I
Wow.
don't know if my plans would save the studio or make any money. It might just drive us to extinction. But that would be my plan is to revive some old musicals. Let the fans cast one version of that musical, and then let casting agents cast the other version, and then just put them both out there and see what does better.
And that might be the next big like MCU type of trend where it's like, oh, which one did you like better, the fan cast or the legacy cast or whatever, whatever we want to call the distinction between the two. And then it becomes like other studios start doing the same. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this now too, and that actually might be really cool.
Yeah. Like when they did like Dracula, and they had the American version, and then they did the Spanish version, the same sets, the same costumes, but the Spanish one cooked so much harder because like they had a second go at it, and it just became such a better film. Like I think it'd be cool instead of there's like a drive with AI, people are trying to like fan cast their own stuff, right? So what if we just made the things twice? At least then people in the film industry would be getting double the work.
That's
I
true.
like work. I like
You'd
work.
either bankrupt the company or revolutionize the industry. Very bold.
Probably the former, but yeah.
Justin,
Speaking of,
what do you? No. What do you think, Justin? What would you do if you were the CEO
if I'm
of
saving
Warner Brothers? Yeah.
Easy.
Uh-oh.
Number one.
Everything is polyamory reality shows.
No. Step one. You keep streaming stuff on streaming. You keep movie stuff on movies. Movies don't go on streaming services. We're getting theatrical releases for everything.
Yep.
No more
6
the
months.
Penguin. We're not
6
doing
months
the-
minimum until it hits streaming.
No. I would go years. Years.
Eh.
Extend
Oh,
the
you're
theatrical window.
You're trying to Disney Vault it. I see.
Yes, that's literally what I'm
Smart.
trying to do. So when it does
Smart.
come back, you're like, oh my gosh, Lady and the Tramp already have the 3 copies, but I need another. You know,
Yeah.
it annoys me that like stuff shows up on streaming so quickly. So like, extend that for as long as possible. Bring back DVD commentaries and fancy Blu-rays. um, what else? Yeah, I might actually sell Harry Potter. I would say, or at least buy JK out. I would try and buy because it's a losing, it's a
Time.
zero sum game. You
Yeah.
someone's gonna hate you for something that you made. Like at least try to. And for all we know, they may have tried. Like, listen,
Yeah.
what's the
I think they
number?
probably tried.
1 billion? Like 1 billion? How much would you pay J.K. Rowling to
Yeah.
leave Harry Potter?
I have a theory that I mean it's not even really a theory. I think it's almost like objective fact that Harry Potter is only as big as it is and as expansive and a big world as it is because of Warner Brothers.
Mm,
Right? Like because it took off, because it blew up, that's why she started fucking around with like, oh, here's this detail about this thing and oh, Pottermore and like all this lore that exists outside of the books, right? That's only because it blew up and became this huge thing. If
sure.
it had just stayed books, successful books, but never movies and adaptations with a company like Warner Brothers behind it all, she would have just faded into obscurity and she would have never, she'd be like a Suzanne Collins where
I
she's,
don't know about
releasing
that.
books every now and then
I,
and it
I
gets
don't
a movie,
know.
but
I
that's it.
disagree, Dick. I disagree because it was already a cultural phenomenon before the
Yeah,
movies.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just saying I think she gets credit where it's due. She made the world, she wrote the stories, but read those books again. They're
Sure.
terrible.
I'd
Like they're
cancel that
not.
TV show too. I'd cancel the TV show because
Yeah.
movies belong on movies. I I wouldn't make the Cursed
Yes.
Child. I would do something Fantastic Beasts related. What's the other book? I'd do something Quidditch related. I'd make a Quidditch movie.
Ooh, that's fun.
Make it
Yeah.
like F1
Yeah.
or like
But
Rocky
Quidditch.
or Creed. Make a Creed version of a Quidditch movie in the Harry Potter universe. Millionaires, millionaires. You cast an up and coming, a female lead. What's the name? Dora or the girl from The Last of Us? Dina?
Yeah.
Isabella
Isabel
Merced?
Merced.
It's about.
Boom, boom. She's the new Quidditch
It's a wrap.
player, and then you put like big names around her and shit. Like you put, fuck it, put Meryl Streep in there somehow. You throw in,
I,
just throw her in there. She'll do something.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, let's keep it moving because now we're almost out of time. um, Emily, what story made you stop scrolling this week?
Um, I let's see. The thing that really stopped me in my tracks, and this is gonna add some context to who I am, but it was the Hamilton performance at the Tonys.
Ooh.
I loved it. It's Hamilton, 10 years since the musical came out. And at the time the musical came out, I was in a rough spot. I was like after college, still trying to figure myself out professionally, trying to find my way in the world. And someone had mentioned to me, like, hey, you should check out this musical. They knew I liked musicals. And this is back when the album was $1 on Apple Music, on the
Wow.
iTunes store.
Wait,
It was $1.
pause. Emily, how old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
What? I
So,
thought you were like younger than me. Wow, that's crazy actually. I could have
yes,
sworn
I
you
am
were
in my
25.
30s. Really?
You're like, how
Wow,
does she
thank
know
you.
iTunes?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's literally I was like, well, I thought I was like, was she know iTunes? That's crazy.
You're
Wow.
like, you know iTunes?
Anyways.
Yeah,
I know
I'm a
iTunes.
90s baby. 90s hive rise. Yeah, so I was a young adult and trying to find my way in the world, and I got into Hamilton, and I was making my first like adult money ever, and it was 2015. I remember, and I told my parents, I was like, I need to go to New York. I was in LA at the time. I need to go to New York, and
Oh.
I need to go watch this on Broadway. And my family was like, hell yes. My family is all about like you're never gonna regret money you spend on things that you're passionate about. And
Mm.
so I definitely paid about a month's rent to get out to New York and get myself like a fifth row ticket to see OG cast of Hamilton.
Nice.
Wow, incredible! I'm
And
so
it was
Nice.
one of
jealous.
the best experiences. I stage door at the end of the show. I met all the cast. I talked with Lin-Manuel Miranda. It was amazing. Like I was on cloud nine. It was incredible, and I have been such a huge fan ever since. And this performance at the Tonys was incredible. They were all in black, and it was such a like classic like approach to the performance. And I thought like, okay, this is just the look they're going for, all black, just to pay homage to the last 10 years, not to kind of upstage the current touring casts who are out right now, right? But then King George came out in a red jacket.
Of course he
And
did.
so you have everyone else in all black, and then King George in a red jacket. And red is synonymous with a certain party in office now, and it did feel like a bit of a protest. And Hamilton to me has always had like incredible protest energy, and to see that performance, it felt like a very fitting way to celebrate those 10 years. So it had me mouth agape staring at my phone like, oh my god, they did that.
They really brought everyone back, including Anthony Ramos. Like, okay, you guys remember that when that drama happened between him and Jasmine?
Do I
Cephas-
remember?
Oh, you were
Jasmine
there?
Cephas
Were
Jones?
you involved?
I sent her the text.
Wait, what? Still scrolling exclusive. We got it here. We got him. We did it, chat.
She started it.
I said, "Is this your man?" Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, I didn't.
Crazy. He got no screen time too. Did anybody else catch that? Oh.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I mean,
does anybody feel
even
bad
in the
for him?
original, he's not.
Yeah,
has
he's
two
he's not a minor
songs.
character.
Yeah,
He's not
he's
that
it's,
minor.
when he's the son, he gets a little bit more time. But even
My name
they're
is
not gonna
Philip.
do.
And I'm a poet. No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 I don't know the words.
Yeah.
Like he had a big part. He died.
Right at the
the
end.
French
He died
song.
twice.
Wait, when you
Yeah.
died the first
Oh
time?
yeah, off screen. Well, off
Off
stage.
screen dead.
Oh,
Off stage
off
dead.
screen.
Well, it's interesting because you never hear that in the soundtrack, but when you watch the production, you see him get a letter, or Hamilton get a letter saying he died, and it
Yeah.
kind of reshapes their relationship too. John Lawrence and Alexander Hamilton. I think there was something going on there.
Oh, could be gay. That's what the government is afraid to show you. Anyways,
That's what it is.
I have beef with Hamilton. Not real beef, but when
That's okay.
I went to Chicago to see the touring production of Hamilton, and we got our tickets, and literally there was a pole right in front of me in my seat.
Like obstructed view.
Yes, it was not
Oh,
listed.
no.
So when I saw Hamilton live, I saw him a pole. I saw half of Hamilton. Maybe that's why I missed that he died, because I only caught half of the performance.
Damn.
I
I got
know,
one better for
right?
you though. I got one better for you.
Okay.
When I went to see Hamilton down here in Miami, it bombed. The show bombed.
What do you mean it bombed?
So literally
What do
somebody
you
called
mean
in a
it's
bomb threat.
Hamilton?
Somebody
Oh.
called in a bomb threat. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yep. And
For
it happened.
Hamilton?
Yeah, and it happened in the most insane. It's almost like, is this fucking staged? Because it happened during the 10 dual commandments at the end of the show. So it's like, I forget how it goes at the end, but literally right as he's about to shoot, the alarms start going off, and you see Leslie Odom, Aaron Burr, just kind of put the gun down and walk off stage, and everybody's like, "What's going?"
What do we do?
Yeah, and then eventually, they ushered us out of the room and out of the building, and we had to wait outside, and yeah. So, but I guess it is. Your situation is probably worse because you had to deal with the pole in front of you the entire show. We got to go back in, those of us that like stuck around, and I
Yeah.
finished the show like 5 rows deep. So like the whole,
Hey.
yeah, yeah. So it was pretty cool. You know, maybe like what one third of the show, or not even, maybe 1/4 of the show. We got like further up,
Better
better
seats.
seats because everybody else had left.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that's
Wow.
So
actually insane. Worst time
yeah,
to call in a bomb. Actually, the best time. Maybe it was
yeah.
strategic because they wanted better seats.
They
Derek, was it
wanted better
you?
seats. I was
Uh,
insane. This is a new
somebody
tactic
did.
to
Nah,
employ.
nah.
No, no, no.
I
Yeah.
knew it, Derek. It was you. Stop
Oh no.
lying.
Yeah. The moral of the story is just go watch things with the original cast on Broadway like Emily did
You make it sound
because
so easy.
it's not the same.
Like, no big deal. We'll just casually just pay our rent to go see Hamilton. But
Yeah.
one of these
She figured
days,
it out. She
Lin
was
Manuel
fine.
Miranda.
Yeah.
I will get my revenge on you.
Yeah.
He wasn't even there. Anyways, Derek, what made you stop scrolling this week?
That was all our stories, no?
Oh, we're not talking about the white Black Panther?
Oh, that's right. The white Black Panther that we don't know.
We don't have to talk about it. You forgot about it.
I
Cut
did
it.
forget about it. I did forget about it.
'Cause
What
it's
do you want
that
to do? You want to cut
forgettable.
it for?
No, we don't have to cut it for real. I just think it was funny. You're like,
Okay.
oh yeah, that did happen. And that's
All
my
right, so
exact reaction to the whole story
Well-
where you're like, okay.
well, the reason I forgot about it, I'm gonna save it here. Watch. The reason I forgot about it is because we still don't know like what the exact context of a white Black Panther is in the comics, in Marvel Comics. There is now a white Black Panther, and it's T'Challa's son from a future situation. And people are saying, weirdos and not weirdos alike are comparing it to the Ryan Gosling meme as Black Panther. But we're not sure to what extent this is the actual Black Panther, if it's done as some sort of a commentary on the fact that people use the Ryan Gosling meme as like a way to defend not having diversity in film. So like we don't know all of those juicy details just yet. So in my brain, I was just like, let me wait. Let me wait till this develops. Let me read the story when it comes out or when I can get my hands on it and see what I think about it. Right? Because I think in a way, especially nowadays, and especially from a Marvel comics themselves, they're not doing this as a way to just kind of like make a white Black Panther. There's some sort of like details around it, a purpose behind it. But what do you think, Justin? Because you're the one that brought it up here.
Yes. Let me give the black opinion.
Yeah,
Does that
exactly.
sound good for Derek?
Yep.
You want
It
me to
doesn't
just
matter
give
what
the
I think.
black
You're the black guy.
opinion?
Yeah.
You know that TikTok audio where it's like, is it actually a cactus? You know? Where
Yeah.
it's like, good news, we have a new Black Panther. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is it actually a Black Panther? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Is this actually the new Black Panther? Or are you just trying to cause an internet stir to get us to buy
Yeah.
the comic book? And it's already in an alternate universe, so it's not actually in the main universe, and we're not going to see it, and people are just going to use it as ammo to be assholes online, or is it actually a Black Panther? It's a Black Panther, reads the comic. It's fucking Ryan Gosling Black Panther. Like, oh my gosh, it's a fucking meme. I get it. Like, whatever. Okay. Like, that's my level with comics right now, where it's just kind of
I'm
like, okay.
tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of years ago, I dipped out of like comics in general because I'm like, you stopped the thing that I like, right? And I'm not liking the new thing, but we're not going to go back to the new thing because they had to go back to the status quo. So I guess this is my time to get off the bus, And specifically with this, I'm like, this isn't real. It's not going to be canon. It's not going to be. If anything, this is a cool video game skin.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this was made so that TikTok comic talk people can get angry about it. Emily, since you are working in casting, which white person should play Black Panther in Black Panther 3?
Who would you cast?
Who would I cast as white Black Panther?
Ben Shapiro.
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I've been in a space where it's like I'm personally tired of seeing the same like 5 white men and everything.
Not
Yeah,
Timothy
you know.
Chalamet, Paul Mescal.
Listen.
Timothy Chalamet as Black Panther would be so funny, actually.
No, guys.
That's like an SNL skit.
Yeah. Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow.
Oh God, I can't. Oh gosh, next thing you know, people are gonna be like, "Let Young Gravy play Black Panther," and you're like, "Okay, we need to shut this shit down. I'm done. I'm tired of it." Anyways, Emily, last chance. Who are you casting?
I mean, because he, because I'm not a fan, I'm putting Glenn Powell in that role.
Glenn Powell.
Oh, that's a good one. That's up there with Ryan Gosling
No,
level casting.
You know what's funny though? I feel as though Glenn Powell is the person who would take it a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be like, "Okay, this is my thing. I gotta do it right." He would go to Africa, actually study the culture or something like that. And he'd be like, Glenn, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. He's like,
Yeah.
"I already have my tattoos. I already have my
Exactly.
piercings."
He'd be like,
Glenn, no!
he'd be like,
I can't. Glenn, just stay home. I don't know, play Star-Lord or something, or whatever. Anyways, now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Am I the Asshole? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Am I the asshole for being angry my ex-wife lives with my parents? Ooh, lock in
That
your answer
sounds-
now.
Good setup.
That sounds like it's his fault. So, yes, you're the asshole.
Oh, Emily, okay. What do you think?
I mean, like, first reaction,
Yeah.
okay. Depends on also when this is written, right? Because, like, men back in the day, yes, they were probably terrible husbands, but at least they were handymen. They could fix a thing or two, you know? But, like, nowadays, they're terrible husbands and they don't have the hard skills to fix the house.
Wow,
or
this is
do
a lot of
anything.
judgment. So you haven't even heard the story. So
I haven't even heard the story. I'm just
Okay.
saying when they got married, they probably had a little agreement about the house and the income and the finances, and now they're separated. She doesn't have access to that stuff. So, I mean, I'm painting a lot of backstory
you
into
are
something I know
judging so
nothing.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Let's
see.
All
We'll
right.
see.
I, 45 male, am an only child. My parents are married of 50 years. For the most part, I have a good relationship with my parents. I got married young, 22, to Brenda because it was the right thing to do after having our first son. The relationship was rarely good. In fact, mostly volatile. She changed jobs frequently and was very unreliable. She cheated on me, rarely participated in children's events, drink issues here and there, pill issues here and there, etc. 10 years later, we had twins, a boy and a girl. The situation got even worse when the stress level was peaked and we divorced. 2-ish years after our divorce, she had no place to go because she exhausted all her family and friend options. And one of the kids, 8 years old, begged and cried to my parents to let Brenda stay with them. Despite of my feelings and wishes, Brenda moved in with my parents 5 years ago. What was supposed to be just a bit to let her get on her feet, it's now been 5 years. My mother since then has been swearing she's trying. She's got to get back on her feet. She moved out a few times in a few short-lived relationships, but then right back to my parents' house. Gives them $500 a month for rent if she can afford it, and doesn't contribute to groceries or utilities. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she does have a full-time job at an insurance company, and she pays me $200 a month for our 2 and 14-year-olds in child support, and that's if she has a job. I would say she pays it 80% of the time, but she doesn't contribute to the kids' sports or extracurricular activities. Also, my parents and Brenda live less than 2 miles away from me. I have primary custody of my 14-year-old twins, and Brenda gets them only every other weekend, despite an open schedule parenting agreement, even when she was jobless, and they live 2 miles away. We have gotten into it so many times that she's disrespected me and cussed me in front of my parents and enjoys knowing how bad it bothers me just by her being there. My parents are well aware of my feelings about her living there, and they have been reminded frequently. Several arguments have been had over the issue. I can't go to visit my parents without my ex-wife just sitting there, And I've been promised time and time again that they have given her a deadline to move out, but something always comes up. The most recent argument, I straight up told, "You're just gonna have to deal with it, or don't come over here," said my mother. I don't know what to do anymore. I want to have a relationship with my parents. I want to have conversations with them without my ex-wife. That I can't stand interjecting. My dad's really unhealthy, and I know he doesn't have a lot of time left. Am I the asshole for being pissed about this? Am I wrong for not going over there because she is there? Am I wrong for feeling completely betrayed? What do we think now?
Brenda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I was
You
wrong.
were on her side.
No, no, no. I was anti the man. All right, I wasn't on her side. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
No,
Emily,
because
is your mind changed? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Derek.
it's fine. Go ahead, Emily.
Oh yeah, I mean context is everything. I mean the fact that they have children, they are a little older, so they've been
Mm-hmm.
together a while, and I think yeah, the children really changed the story truly because, if this was just the ex-wife without the children, you could be a little bit more harsh and it's not as gray, but because, you want to keep the children around and you want to make sure she has access to housing, even though it's like, Brenda, get your stuff together. What do you
Yeah,
what was your plan if this didn't work out? Like
yeah,
how it's like you can only allow so much grace, but now you got the time is ticking on his relationship with his father. So I really feel for this OP in
yeah,
his situation.
yeah.
But
There's a
are
lot
they
of
the
like.
asshole? Go ahead, Derek.
eh, I don't think he's an asshole. I just think both. I think everybody needs to just take a moment and realize the past is the past. This is what we're living in right now. The kids are 14. They'll be fine. They're not with their mother most times, even when she can have them. She's not really involved the way that she should be. Most of the time, they're not at their grandparents. It's just her and the grandparents living in that house together. So it's not to say like he needs to go extreme with it and get take them away from her, but she's not around anyway. So like yeah, just you don't need to shelter her anymore. Maybe when the kids were 8, maybe that's a different story. But they're 14 years old. So, they'll be fine.
Interesting.
They'll be fine, is all I'm
Interesting.
saying. You know?
Derek, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
I would say no assholes here. You have a
Yeah,
right to
sure.
feel angry about it and feel weird about it,
Yeah.
but maybe I have a hard time not wanting to look out for the mother of your kids.
Right.
Making sure she has a roof over her head. I know we're not together, but that's still the mom of the kid, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
know?
Here's the thing though, because there's a lot, especially in the Latin
She did
community.
cheat, though.
Aside from that, even aside from that, right? I think the where people are going to struggle with this one is that just because, and this is going to sound terrible, just because you are biologically a parent of a child, that child does not owe that parent shit. The other parent does not owe the other parent shit, right? It's not to say that context and nuance and all that doesn't matter, okay? But like in the Latin community, right? You grow up sometimes with the most toxic relationships and you just have to deal with it because they're your elder, because that's your mom, because that's your dad, because whatever. And at the end of the day, like they're not good people, right? I'm not saying that's the case with the mom,
Cultural
especially if they're
perspective is important on this one.
especially
Interesting.
if there's like what is it? Especially if there's like drug issues and all that kind of stuff. Like
True.
it's
Yeah.
understandable. I get it, man. Some people just don't have the luck. They don't have the opportunity. They don't have the privilege to just pick themselves up and be normal, especially at their age, right? Like being a recovering drug addict in your 40s is not the same as like, yeah, I did drugs and I'm 21, So it's tough. It's tough, and yeah, I'm gonna change my answer from the dad's the asshole to what you said, Justin.
No assholes here.
Nobody is an asshole, but I think they need to go to therapy and figure some stuff out and learn how to get this mom to be independent.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Emily,
I
what's your final
agree.
verdict?
I don't think this person's an asshole for feeling that way. Like that, it's frustrating. It's a very hard situation. It seems like they've given her a lot of grace, a lot of opportunities, and she hasn't risen to the occasion to support herself. And she's, um, she's being dubious to his parents. So that's reason enough to be upset. Is like she feels like she's taking advantage of the situation. She has this full-time job, but she's barely contributing to like the financial well-being for the children, for the household of his parents. And so it doesn't seem like it's a symbiotic relationship, it's definitely like they're kind of holding her up here. And at some point you have to be able to like, put people in a situation or give them opportunity to like stand up, do what you need to do.
Interesting.
And if some
Interesting.
people don't take that opportunity, like there's only so much. There's only so much. Given the past of like all the different like indiscretions she's had with infidelity, with like substance abuse or anything like that, like it seems like she has definitely showed her cards as somebody who like uh, doesn't isn't reliable. And like to Derek's point, like, do you want that person around your children? I don't know.
Okay, okay. Y'all are about to get canceled. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Emily. This was a wonderful episode. If people want to follow Emily and aka Movie Mija, where can the people find you?
You can find me primarily on TikTok and YouTube. My YouTube channel is still very new, but I'm a yapper, as you can see. And if you want to hear me talk about movies, if you want me to overthink about movies and overanalyze, I do a lot of that over on my YouTube channel at Movie Mija.
Nice, nice. Follow us on the socials on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, all that jazz. And as always, we're still scrolling. Good night.